So, have you ever been laughed at by someone you thought was a safe person who had your back and who loved you over something so insignificant? If so, stay with me because that moment might have changed your life forever and you might not even know it. Hi, I'm Sandy. So, there's a new layer that I've noticed in my healing journey that has come up. I've noticed it kept me silent and kept me from speaking up when I need to. And it's rooted in not feeling dumb, but not the normal way. It doesn't seem like possibly not the way you would think. So I've been trying to unravel this, and there was this moment that I haven't thought about in years because I kept on trying to pinpoint where it came from. Where is this feeling dumb coming from? Because it's not coming out in the way you would think. So here's the backstory. When I was younger, I must have been 7-ish, maybe. We were on a family trip to one of those heritage places, and they had those tours where they have like people dress up and pretend to be whatever. So we were in this schoolhouse, and there was a pretend teacher, and she was asking everybody different questions, and she came to me, and I'm introverted by nature, and I probably knew enough at the time for however old I was that being in front of my dad was probably not to answer any questions was probably not the best idea. Well, she did, and I remember feeling like cornered or that I had to, and she asked me something to multiply 0 times a number. I don't remember it completely. I remember it had to do with 0 though. I hadn't gotten that far in school. I hadn't. And she put me on the spot, and my brain doesn't work like that. It wasn't a good situation. I thought I knew I tried my best. I gave her an answer and it wasn't right. So what does this have to do with being laughed at and feeling dumb? Well, my dad was in the room and he started busting out laughing at me that I did not know the answer, that I got it wrong. He might have even said, "That is so easy," something I don't remember in detail. I hadn't even remembered this whole memory until recently. But even if that was bad enough for me to be this traumatized and knowing what I know now, he probably said something about, "Why are you so stupid?" Something like that. I don't know exactly, but the word stupid or dumb was probably said. So that moment, it was like a new filter. I know life skills. I've taken life skills. Life skills calls it a life commandment. Somewhere in my brain, I made a life commandment that for some reason, if some part of me feels like I'm going to be looked at as dumb for asking a question, you love asking questions, it's different. It's more of like a clarification thing or stepping into something like my whole plumbing thing. I have a video, the start of that plumbing thing that I said something, but I didn't lean into further, but I also didn't know at the time either. But you get what I'm saying. That was an educational experience, but back to the schoolhouse thing. That was the other thing, and the reason why I've always loved questions. I love being inquisitive. I love understanding why. I'm very curious. I like to do all those things. My parents hated it. So between him laughing at me and probably calling me dumb, and them always telling me to stop asking so many questions, that and other things just slowly eroded and took away my voice. That's the realization from all of it, is that now when I have those moments where, and my daughter's really good at it too. My daughter's so good. She will step into it and she is adamant. She'll ask her question and I would be terrified for her when she does it. She doesn't care. She's going to step into it until she gets her answer, which I think is fantastic that she does that. So here's the shift that I am making. In those moments when I feel that way, I have another video, and I'll link it here, on taking the room. That was one of the first time that I can remember that I really stood boldly and my daughter inspired that moment. You know what? My daughter would totally do this. So check that video out. That one's a good one too. So I've been slowly reclaiming my voice, and this was just the next layer in understanding the different situations. That life commandment of feeling dumb and not wanting to look dumb gets me into trouble, and I don't want to take away my voice anymore. I'm going to keep moving forward and using my voice and practicing using my voice, and they call it exposure therapy. I'm finding more things putting myself into more situations where I need to use my voice so I get the practice. So that's how I'm reclaiming my voice. If you've ever felt silenced by shame, I want to hear your story. Drop it in the comments if you feel comfortable. Let's make noise together. If you want to watch my generational trauma videos, click here. If you want to watch my latest video, click here.